So welcome back, and boy do I have a very special episode for you today. So today we are going to be cooking smoked French bread pizza, and it's a new version that I've never done before and I'm really excited about. Pulled pork barbecue smoked pizza. So I've been craving a barbecue pizza. I haven't had one really in years now that I think about it, and it just so happens I smoked a couple of Boston butts on my Masterbuilt Gravity 800, a couple months ago, and we always cook extra. We'll shred it down, we'll vacuum seal it, put it in the freezer, and use it later for sandwiches, barbecue baked beans, things such as that. So I got to thinking the other day, let's pull some of that smoked pork out of the freezer and make a barbecue smoked pizza. So for those of y'all that are not familiar with a Masterbuilt Gravity smoker is, I did a full review on the channel. Be sure to check that out. But long story short, this is a grill slash smoker that this hopper you fill full of charcoal briquettes, lump charcoal, and you actually mix real wood chunks in it. So that's the flavor that we're going to get in here, and it's an awesome flavor on pizza. So we've yet to do a barbecue pizza, but we've been cooking some supreme pizzas on this oven. Oh my goodness, has it turned out so well. I'm gonna do another cooking episode here coming up before long with traditional style pizzas, at least supreme, and what you're typically used to for toppings. We'll have another video coming for that. The beautiful thing about this grill is it goes up to 700 degrees. That's what inspired me to think about, can I cook a pizza on this? It's almost like a wood fire oven, although those do get a little hotter. So your pizza cooks so quick, you hardly have time to get the smoke flavor in there, but I'll admit the cheese and all does absorb it up. You do taste it. Now I'm gonna put in some Kingsford Applewood charcoal briquettes. On this grate, I'm going to put a couple of these Applewood chunks so we can go ahead and get some smoke right off the bat. Take one of these fire starters right here, stick in here, light this up. We're gonna let this smolder and burn for about 2 minutes just to go ahead and get these charcoals going. Then we'll kick the fan on with the smoker and we're off to the races. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this together out here in our outdoor kitchen. Now, we're calling this French bread pizza, but this is actually an Italian loaf bread that we got at our local Walmart. It was fresh baked. We're just gonna cut it in half. So what you essentially get by doing that is 2 pizzas. We're gonna cook another one tonight on our live stream, our YouTube live stream, so I'm gonna save it for that. All right, so in this bowl, we have some melted garlic herb butter. You could just use regular butter and add some other stuff to it. I'm gonna put that on the bread here. Okay, then we're gonna take some freshly grated mozzarella. I suggest grate this yourself. Don't buy it already grated. It just tastes so much better when you buy it in the block form. We're just gonna put a very light layer down right here, kind of build this pizza. Now we have marinara and barbecue in this bowl. I'm just gonna mix it together. Really, I should have put that down over the bread first. I went ahead and put the cheese down. Oops. We'll go ahead and drizzle some on right now. Doesn't really make a difference. Now you could just use straight barbecue, I would imagine, if you just want a traditional barbecue style pizza, but we wanted to mix it with a little bit of marinara. And we're using sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. All right, so next we're gonna take the smoked Boston butt. This is what I pulled out of the freezer. Like I said, anytime I smoke on that grill, I always make extra. We'll freeze it, vacuum seal it, and pull it out and use it later. I'm gonna take some of the sweet Baby Ray's and mix in with the barbecue sauce. Get it nice and infused. And the good thing about doing it this way too, the pork is already cooked, so we don't have to be concerned about this being such a quick cook inside the grill. All right, so now that pulled pork is nice and mixed in with some barbecue sauce. I'll just start putting this all over my pizza. All right, next, because you can never have too much cheese on a pizza, we're gonna take these fresh mozzarella pearls. It's just little ball-sized chunks of mozzarella that should melt down nicely. And I'm just gonna randomly put them in between all that meat that we just put on there. Because Tiffany and I both love onions, I'm gonna put some of those on there as well. You can skip this step if you don't feel those should be on your barbecue pizza. Now to give it a little extra smoky and barbecue kick, I'm gonna put on some of this brown sugar bourbon. Adding a barbecue rub, I think, would just give it a nice touch. We're not gonna go crazy with it. All right, and to top it all off, another generous helping of mozzarella cheese. Oh, this looks so good. All right, so now we'll just put this on our pizza peel, get it over to the grill that should be up to temp, and I'll show you what we got going on over there. Check this out, y'all. I know it's hard to see with all that cheese, but pulled pork, onions, barbecue sauce, marinara, garlic butter, 2 different kinds of mozzarella cheese. Oh, it's gonna be so good. All right, so we've got the grill up to temp right at 700 degrees. That's the beautiful thing about this grill, how high it can get. And let me show you all my setup on here. I'm gonna do this really quick. You can see we got good smoke coming out. That applewood's nice and lit, so we're gonna get instant flavor. But when I open this up, you're gonna see that I have a pizza stone inside, and it's on a very large rack by LSS Mods. The pizza stone will not fit on the smaller factory racks, and I like to elevate this up and do my pizza right there in the middle. But I've given it enough time that the stone itself is nice and warmed up. Plus that stone helps protect the bottom of this bread from that excessive heat that's coming out, because again, we're pumping this thing to 700 degrees. So check this out right here. There's that big center rack. There's that stone. Get this right on top. Close it up. Start me a timer. And depending on how crispy you want your pizza, this will take anywhere from 7 to 11 minutes, depending on how much stuff you got on there as well. It's a relatively quick process at such high temperature. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so good. Woo. All right, y'all, it's only been 6 minutes, and this thing is pretty much done. Now, when we make our supreme pizzas, we tend to overload them with a bunch of wet vegetables, mushrooms, peppers, all kinds of stuff. And those tend to take about 11 minutes to cook, but they're literally twice as thick as what we just did right here. So I'm gonna give this just a few more seconds, and we're gonna pull it off, but that's a quick cooking pizza right there. The fun thing about this too is you can have people over. We're talking about doing this, having a group of people over, doing a pizza bar, all the condiments set up on the cabinet, and people can come along with their own French bread pizzas. I can put 2, 3 on here at a time. They can make them up. You can cook them so quick, get them off, bring the next people right along the line. I think that'll be a fun, kind of entertaining hangout type of thing to do. Y'all ready to see this? All right, so here it is. Check that guy out right there. Let's get it over to the table, get it cut up. All right, so one last look. That came out so good. When I pulled it off, the meat was bubbling, just everything looks melted to perfection. And one thing I love, love, love about doing this, even though we were only in there just a few minutes, if you like a crispy crust on your pizza, wait till you hear this. Hopefully the mic picks it up. Here. Holy smokes. So an absolutely beautiful crust. You just heard how crunchy it was, the knife going right through it. I've got to let this cool off for a second, but y'all, check that out. Got barbecue oozing out the top. Got melted cheese on the side. Pork all up in there. This is going to be so stinking good. I'm more excited about this than I was for the supreme pizzas that we made, and those were so good. We made one on a live stream just a little while back. All right, listen to this. So crispy. All right, let's try this out. Oh man, that is so good. All right, if you like smoked pork, barbecue of any kind, plus pizza, this is a winning combination. Pizza Hut ain't got nothing on this. All right, so me and Tiffany's about to enjoy this. We're gonna cook another one on our live stream tonight. If you're ever interested in that, every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Eastern, we kind of chat, talk about all the content on the channel, and we usually do a little bit of cooking at the end of that. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I've got some supreme pizzas coming up here before long, and I think we'll try to do some different dough types and cook a a raw dough pizza as well, especially since we have the pizza stone in there. I think this should work on a lot of different grills as long as you can really get it up to temp. I think if you can't get 500 and above and hold it, this may not work as well for you, but the fact that this smoker right here goes all the way up to 700, you've seen in 7 minutes, I have a crispy, perfectly cooked pizza. Catch you on the next one.